Daniel.
Yes, Terry.
We're in all the prelims.
Better enjoy it while we can.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by the good people at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and yes, you can hear my voice. This was cheering on the boys to a finals win, Dan.
With that said,
let's go straight into
let's
the show.
talk some black, white and blue, and I want to lead with a hyperbolic statement. This is the biggest week in the history of our club since 2016.
Yeah, this week coming. Let's recap the game.
Oh yeah, we will, but
Yeah, this is
to
huge.
go forward, we must first look back.
Yes.
Now that's your segue.
That is your segue. What a game. What a first half.
What a performance.
I have gone home and watched the replay several times. Fox finally put it up on Sunday.
Yep. Oh, nice effort, boys.
Beautiful. So I've watched it a couple of times. Only the first half. First half was flawless. Oh my God, the first half was flawless. There's not much more you could say, but I think for the second half, we put so much effort in for the first half.
That's a good point.
Something had to give.
It did, and you look at the Cowboys and we make
they
fun.
were desperate.
They're chock full of talent, especially in the big positions. They were always going to get some run, and I dare say, and he cops a lot of grief from myself included. If Will Kennedy doesn't make that ankle tap, I think that continues, and they probably get us in the end. So
Reece Robson made a break. If he looks to his right, they score under the post.
Yep.
He looked to his left through a bad pass.
Yeah.
He made another break and got tackled and dropped the ball. Yeah. He made another break and got tackled and dropped the ball.
We just won the big moments, which in the last few weeks we haven't.
Yeah.
Or we've got on top, made errors. It was the win we had to have. And you and I both sat here and said that a win in a final is the minimum and a pass mark for this year. Yep. And I stand by that. Don't get me wrong, I want to win this weekend. But let's be honest. Last week was massive in terms of the club.
It's a tough task to know that you have put so much effort in to beat the Cowboys, and now you're coming up against arguably the best team of the NRL era. Yep. The best team that we've seen. And we've had some great Melbourne Storm teams, some great Roosters teams.
Yeah, big time.
The Bulldogs team of 2004 was probably one of the best individual teams. Chock is full of talent. And we're now coming up against an absolute juggernaut, but you've got to enjoy it while it lasts.
Absolutely right. Anyone can have an off game. You know who can't win this weekend? The Cowboys, because they didn't beat us. So everyone going in saying Cronulla can't win. Okay, maybe we can't.
Yep.
But we can win 1,000% more than anyone else who ain't playing this weekend. I
had loads of Cowboys fans in my mentions going, yeah, your team's going to get flogged by 30 this week. Well, that means your team would have got beat by 38.
Yeah, UP. I think this win is so important, not only for this season, which is obvious, but for the future. Because if we lose, we heard some Cowboy yelling head noise. They got head noise behind us. Yep. And you want to turn around and say, shut up. They did. Yeah.
He said that at 24-12.
Yep.
They're getting head noise. The boys were behind the sticks, right in front of us. Yep. Great seats that we had.
Brilliant seats. That's the best stadium.
We could hear everything that was being said. The jibes, everything. The guys in front of us were drunk as hell.
Yeah, having a great night.
So much fun.
What a ripper!
What a ripper of a performance.
Can we talk about Nicho Hynes?
I'd love to. Positively.
Now, I just want to give a shout out, Terry, a negative shout out to some lazy, let's call them scumbags, some lazy scumbags who saw Braden Trindle have the game of his life, outplay Tom Dearden, who is an Origin level player, and lead Cronulla to a win.
Does Trindle take Dearden's spot next year?
Well, obviously, one-on-one, based on that alone. They, rather than say, geez, they played a good game, they said, oh, Nicho wasn't the best player on the field.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't, because it was Braden Trindle. Now, if you're a hot hand, and I'm struggling a little bit, and I'm just kicking nicely and I'm tackling well, of course I'm not going to overplay my hand, because you'll be going, hello, this is what Nicho did.
You watch every sport, right? And you and I watch a lot of sport.
We do.
Tom Brady, when the going got tough, who did he go to? Rob Gronkowski. Yep. And no one else. He would throw the ball to everybody else to get a touch, but when it was 13-all game on the line, who was he going to?
Yeah. You go to your hot hand.
Yeah. The basketball's back. The NBA's back, right? The NBL's back. Sydney Kings played their first game on Sunday. Got up 18-3. The coach got a little bit happy, took all the players off. They fell behind by 5 points. Up 15, fell behind by 5. In the final quarter, put his 5 best players on. Gave the ball to his point guard and said, you just win us the game.
There you go.
That's what you do. Liverpool on the weekend. Everyone was marking Mo Salah. Go Luis Diaz, score 2 goals. You go to your hot hand.
You play
it.
smart. Nico played a great game.
Nico played a halfbacks game.
He did. He controlled. Everyone said, we want to see Nico win a final. We want to see him ice a final. We want to see him play a game where he plays second hand to Trindle. He did all those things, and people are still calling, drop him, get Atkinson in. Oh, he's not justified his $1 million. You know what's going to justify $1 million? Playing in a grand final.
Playing in a Prelim.
And I reckon he's done it. But if you go in and Braden Trindle's playing lights out football, he's kicking everything. And I did like how Nico gave Trindle the kick because Trindle, again, was the hot hand. He played second fiddle, but he still put 2 players into gaps. We should have scored from one of the passes, if not for a knock-on. Nico played tremendous. Don't forget, he's the one that kept the ball alive for the first try.
Yeah.
Because if he goes to ground there, okay, it's a nice place to turn it over. He gives it to Trindle. Trindle kicks. People have got to stop nitpicking little bullshit things. He was great.
That's what's going to happen because the whole onus was going to be Nico can't win, Nico can't perform, and then we've won, and it was, well, Nico didn't perform.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Nico was great. Yeah, well, who cares? Who cares who was best on ground? We're sitting here talking about...
You know the best part about it is 13 other teams had to watch Nico.
They did. It wasn't fantastic.
Yeah, there were 4 teams still this week.
He's in one of them. But look, we said last week that the forwards didn't stand up and Nico couldn't do anything. I thought this week the forwards were tremendous and led by one, Tobias Rudolph.
The game that he played for Newtown is a turning point in our season because the following week he was back in the NRL team, much to the disgust of you and I on the Fins Up podcast. A lot of the fan base on social media did not want to see Toby Rudolph back. Not only did he come back, but he went straight back into the starting lineup.
Yep.
And it was head scratching. What was he doing? Every game that we had, even the Warriors game, he was awesome. He took that, him and Oregon Kafusi really, really took that battle to Adam Fanua-Blake.
Yeah.
Fanua-Blake just beat him.
Yeah.
Now, I saw a really, really garbage tweet on the weekend saying that Toby Rudolph's performance on the weekend was awesome, which it was. And it said that his performance the weekend before really, really let him down. No, it didn't. He was our best forward.
Yeah, by a mile.
By a mile. He was the only forward that went forward.
Yeah.
He was the only forward that ran over 70 metres, 80 metres, and 90 metres.
Jeez, that's not real.
That's not real good at all.
Hey, look, that's what you want. You made man. And I thought, did you see when we were getting them steamrolled through the middle, they go straight to Toby and he came on a little bit earlier than normal and he put that extra bit.
Yep.
And he's just been great. Now, look, he still does the... as 15 minutes, but I think it's that he's so...
I do that walking up the stairs.
Yeah, look, that's
I'm
the thing.
I'm gonna give him a breather.
All the forwards do it because we saw Tom Hazelton get back and get caught in the line and give away a penalty. That happens to a lot of them, but because Toby's so big and he's such a big character, you notice it more.
Yep.
So I think we're a little bit harsh on him, but I thought he was absolutely outstanding.
Now, I wore the shirt for this show. Was it because I didn't do my washing or was it because I wanted to give a shout out for Fitz? You will never know the answer for that. I thought Fitz really, really tightened the bench rotation this weekend. I'm probably not happy with Sifa Talakai playing 14 minutes. I'll be honest with that.
Yeah.
I think he should play... I think he's earned a little more than 14 minutes.
Yeah. He did look a little underdone though.
He did, yeah. Look, carrying an injury into the game, fair play. Jack Williams played a good amount of minutes. Tom Hazelton played a good amount of minutes. Royce Hunt played 12 and I think Talakai played 14. Yeah. Fitz got the rotations right.
He did.
And he actually saw it. He saw that we were losing the ruck and he brought Toby Rudolph back on. And then when we got a little bit of momentum but we were still losing it, Oregon straight back in.
Yeah,
he was brilliant.
Look, I thought obviously the finals win gets a lot of doubters out of the way and it gets the monkey off the back, which builds to next year. But I think they're going to look at this and look, if Penrith come out and flog us, they come out and flog us. What happens? You look at this and you think, cool, we know how to win a final. Nico's played okay. Trindle's played lights out. Kalero played the game of his life. Ronaldo looked good. He
Will Kennedy was good.
Kennedy made a try-saving tackle. Fitzgibbon got it right. Brayley stepped up in his first final game.
Yeah, he did.
There's a lot of building blocks next year for when you say, oi, come here, you big ugly, best forward in the game. Come on, lead us to that extra step.
Yeah.
I am stoked.
I'm absolutely stoked now. Biggest week in the club's history. Let's talk about it. The Jersey Flegg boys. For anyone who wants to go back to January, I challenge you to do it. Please do. Dan and I did a full preview on the season coming up, and I told you the Jersey Flegg boys were one of the best teams in the competition. I stood by that.
Yep.
I stood by that when they were second last.
Yep.
You can go back to some podcasts in June and July. I still stood by it because a lot of our good players from Flegg had gone up into New South Wales Cup and we had just transitioned SG ball players into the Flegg team. They have now won 12 of their last 13 games.
Yep. 10 in a row.
10 in a row to get into the grand final from 5th.
Do you know who they lost to last?
The Bulldogs.
Who we play this weekend. Because we missed a kick after the bell on the siren to draw it up.
Yep. And
You couldn't be set up anymore.
the Dogs played a 93-minute game against Canberra.
Yep. Got him in Golden Point.
15-14. We dispatched of Canberra. And I'm telling you, if this game was still going now, our Flegg boys could be off the field. Canberra weren't winning that game.
Oh, no, we had them done. Dead to rights. That was just fantastic.
We should go into this game like really confident.
Yeah.
Now, the Dogs, really, really good side.
Dogs are a really good side. They've had a great run. They've had a week off, which is huge, and we'll talk more about that in Newtown in a minute.
I think that is going to play into our favour.
I don't know, because we played, 3 games now that we must win. To be honest, we've played 6 games that we must win because
We've played
lost,
10 games that were must-win games.
And we've flown through, and our attack's been fantastic.
We lost one of those games, and we're not on this couch talking about a grand final.
Yeah, spot on. It's been outrageous. So if you can, 11 o'clock this week. Now, Newtown also won through to a grand final by 2 points against the Canberra side, who should have been minor premiers, let's be honest. They absolutely choked in the last couple of minutes to let the Roosters beat them, and it messed some things. We play a team this week, and it's going under the radar. We'll discuss this much more on Fins Up. Make sure you keep an eye out. They've played 1 game in 3 weeks because they had a bye, beat us by, let's say, some indifferent refereeing calls and a few dumb errors that we haven't seen Newtown make for weeks and weeks. Had a week off and go into a grand final. Newtown have played back-to-back games, all huge games against quality teams. Because don't forget, we had to beat the Warriors to qualify for the game we did. They're looking good too. Look, Norths are going to go in as favourites.
Yep.
They beat us 2 weeks ago. They've had a couple of weeks off. They're going to go in as favourites. But Newtown can also be very, very confident.
For Jersey Flegg, I'll say that the week off hurts the Dogs because Jersey Flegg is so unpredictable.
It is.
Like those kids, some random kid can just turn up out of the car park and have an absolute blinder. At least with New South Wales Cup, 10 or 11 players in both teams are NRL contracted.
Yep.
So they're conditioned to this, and especially being Melbourne, and to a degree Cronulla, who they make the finals more often than not recently, right? So they'll be conditioned to have game on, game off. Melbourne, prelims, whatever, every other year. So this is like the week off probably really favours North, where I think the week off
hurts him in Flegg.
It hurts in Flegg.
It's good, but we've talked about three teams. Yep. The 4th team, the NRLW team, despite having a rough 3 weeks, have qualified 4th to the finals and will play Brisbane. In Brisbane on Sunday afternoon. And it is sandwiched between-ish the games. Just follow my Twitter. I'll put everything. I'll put links. I'll make it foolproof so even Terry can understand.
Huh?
Exactly. The NRLW play the Broncos, who are the minor premiers and probably the team to beat. 2 weeks ago, they beat us in a game that we should have iced and we messed up. I don't think either team are the same team they were 2 weeks ago because we've lost to the Tigers and they've just won their last game in an absolute canter and should have won by 60 if they didn't laugh it up in the end. Literally, they scored a try. Hufanga, the centre, laughed and pointed and dropped the ball, or they would have won. They would have gone on to get 50. This is a scary proposition, but we're 1 game away from a grand final in the 2nd season. This has just been the season of all seasons. We said in the pre-season, I'm saying season a lot, the boys need to win a finals game. Done. The girls need to play finals. Done. Flegg need to make finals. Done. And Newtown need to make grand final. Anything from here is bonus. In saying that, I want 4 bonuses.
Yeah, look, 2 of them I'm very confident, and 2 of them I'm kind of like,
Yeah, well, you got to be there to go there. You know,
whichever 2 that is, we'll tell you next week.
We'll know. Now, look, the women had it looked for a long time like the Roosters were going to finish first, which means we would have played 2 prelims where we hadn't scored a point against either combined. So I'm glad it was Brisbane. Let's make no jokes about it. Both teams have a monstrous task this weekend, but it's to make a grand final. Oh, my word.
Damn.
Talk to me, Terry.
Oh, morning.
Fair enough. It wouldn't be the first nor the last. Let's talk some NRL.
Let's talk some NRL now. Let's talk some refereeing performances on the weekend in the finals. I'm going to give it this. It can't go down, it can't go up. If you'd asked me for Friday night,
Wooshka, huge.
Oh, Ashley Klein was amazing.
He was.
It was his 400th game, and I thought the biggest compliment you can give a referee is that you don't know he's out there. I think there was 4 penalties blown in the game, 2-6 against. It was 2-1 to both teams.
Yeah. And both were, you have to make these decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I've seen a lot of people turn around and go, oh, but he awarded the try. He's going to go on what the touch judge says.
Yeah.
And if you go back, and spoiler alert, I did say that I hadn't watched the replay of the game, the entire game. I have, right? And if you have a look on the Royce Hunt try, the touch judge says, I think it's a try, check Ronaldo's hand.
Yep.
So Ashley Klein blows a try and says, please check Ronaldo's hand. They check Ronaldo's hand to knock on.
Yep.
He got the call, the Teague Wilton knock on, absolutely right. And he said to Teague Wilton, if I were you, I wouldn't challenge this. Mm-hmm. And Teague Wilton was going, challenge. And Ashley Klein looked at Niko and said, don't challenge it, it's a blatant knock on. He said it to him. He said, don't challenge it. And you see Ashley's face, he just goes, all right, fair enough. And he knew the outcome of this straight away. The Cowboys challenge. He basically begged Ruben Cotter not to challenge that.
That was so bad.
Right in front of us.
Yeah,
he said he basically just grabbed him and said, please do not challenge this. And they challenged it.
He wasted
He knew
his
what was
time,
happening, right? Let's go to Saturday night.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was down. It was
Grant Atkins.
No.
Horrible.
That first 20 minutes was unwatchable. Everything. We saw, to go back to Klein, we saw him set the tone early. Jesse Ramian grabbed it ahead, week to week, that's a penalty. It was accidental, there was minimal pressure, and he said, no, get up and play the ball. No one laid down.
Round 26, that's a penalty.
Yeah, no one laid down for the rest of the game because they're like, oh, we're not going to get this, let's just play the ball and get the quick play the ball. He set the tone. The penalties he did blow, you had to blow. The 6 again Cronulla got, you had to give. On Saturday night, penalty, and in your face, and I'm the referee, and I'm this. Shut up and let the players decide.
And all the while,
awful.
Adam G was at home.
He's with his feet up,
watching this.
Eating some iced cream and some popped corn.
Like, I'm going to say some words that will probably get me kicked off this show right now. I would have preferred to have watched a Jared Sutton ref game than a Grant Atkins.
Ooh, oh my.
Yeah.
Just quietly, that New South Wales Cup referee.
No, he's terrible as well. Let's go.
We can't be too positive.
To the video referee though over the weekend.
Yeah, White Raymond.
Got everything.
Of not knowing the rules.
White Raymond.
He knows what he's doing.
I love me some White Raymond.
When he's not getting sold up shit creek by a bloke in the bunker thousands of miles away, he does a good job. No, yeah. I thought overall, look.
Overall, very, very positive, right?
The referees didn't decide games because the Roosters ran away with it.
Ashley Klein really, really made up for Grant Atkins.
Yeah, he did.
I think Ashley Klein's performance will get Grant Atkins a prelim.
Yeah, probably go. Yeah, overall it was a good effort. Now, look, we wanted to make special mention because we bagged the rest a lot, and they deserve it. But Ashley Klein did pretty damn
400 games for Ashley Klein. Congratulations.
I haven't seen who's got which game, but I'm hoping it's Klein because if it's Atkins, although, look, it's probably not going to matter. Yeah.
We can have 6 referees in Cronulla jerseys. I don't think it's going to matter on the weekend. No, it'll switch.
Okay,
yeah, it'll switch. We'll probably end up with Grant Atkins.
Well, now we're not going to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, the biggest game on the weekend and the game that's probably going to be the nail biter and needs all the control is Nelson versus JWH. So you're going to give that to Ashley Klein. That's fair. Because Grant Atkins would cry. He'd be in a fetal position after the first hit because he wouldn't know what to do.
Fair enough.
Probably just blow a penalty. He wouldn't know who'd give
penalty
it
both ways.
Both of you have got to take a shot at goal. Yeah. Closest one wins. Let's move on.
Quality. Moving on from referees to talk about referees. Penalty try. Try or no try?
Look, live, it happened right in front of us, and I didn't think that they were going to give it.
No, we were all, you're going, Connor.
Yeah, we were all, up for 10, right? We didn't have the advantage of anything coming through the microphones at the game at Allianz. That was probably the only dour point of the night. We couldn't hear what was being said. Upon watching the replay, Ashley Klein has gone up and said, I believe this is a penalty try because of the way the ball bounced.
Yep. Yeah, it was going to Trindle.
But if you have a look, it wasn't a grubber kick that just stayed along the ground. It bounced up as to where Trindle was. And I think that was important.
Yep, fair.
And that's what the video referee said was important.
Yep, confirming.
So, on that basis, I am happy that it was a penalty try. Had that gone against Cronulla, I would have also been happy for it to be a penalty try so you don't lose a play for 10 minutes in a semi-final.
Look, well, that's the thing. A lot of people were quick to say, oh, we would have preferred Cotter to go to the bin. You take the points in a final.
Yeah.
I very much stand by that. But if Cotter had been sin bin, I would have been okay with it.
Yeah.
Live, for what we saw. Yeah. Seeing the replay, I'm pretty sure it's a penalty try. But again, a lot of more well-known, which is an injustice to both of our abilities and talents, they came out and said, oh, it's not a penalty try, and I don't know about that. Well, I'm telling you, Ashley Klein was Udemy away and said that's a try. They watched 15 replays and said that's a try. Everyone at the place said that's a try. Even the bloody opposition coach goes, yeah, it's a penalty try.
Yeah, he said, I'm not happy with the call, but I'd prefer the try than the 10 in the bin. Now, for anyone who turns around and says, I don't know if Braden Trindle was going to get that down, watch his try in the corner that he scored. Tell me he didn't get that down.
It was 30 times more.
I apologise for swearing, Dids.
No, don't.
Of course he was. Yeah. If he scored that try, he was.
Of course. Yeah. Sam Stone Street-esque finish.
Yeah. That was a Katoa jump with a Stone Street finish, mate.
All by 4'6".
Also, mate, you don't need to give me propaganda on Braden Trindle. Happy with that. Ashley Klein said, I'm sure it was a penalty try. The video referee backed Ashley Klein's great judgment in his 400th game. Congratulations, Ashley. Now, the Roosters, Dan, you and I gave them no chance on this very couch last week.
Well, I don't think that's completely true.
We both picked Manly.
Yeah, but since when has my tips indicated much?
Correct.
No, look, I thought Manly were going to win. I just thought they had all the run. Yeah. But James Tedesco said, not today, my friends. What a performance.
Now, we're fully expecting next week James Tedesco to take home the Dally M medal. After seeing that, and just going back and thinking about all the games that the Roosters have won, yeah, Sam Walker had some pretty good weeks. But Tedesco was also number 2 in those games as well. 22 try assists, like 15 tries or whatever it was he scored.
Million post-contact.
He's so hard to tackle.
He is good, and he seems to lift in these big games. Now, I know he played pretty average in Origin 1, but I think everyone played well average in Origin 1 that weren't in a Queensland jersey because of circumstances. So I don't hold that against him. I think right now James Tedesco is the fullback for the Kangaroos on the back of a tremendous season. The other week, like Turbo, I know is busted, but the difference in their game was worlds.
Yeah.
Tedesco just ran for 1,000,000 metres. They just went with him. And you could see the crowd. Every time he gets the ball, they just stand. They just know.
Yeah. We said last week, Kalen Ponga had the best performance in a losing team. James Tedesco was the player of the week.
Yeah, he was.
Now, Braden Trindle was absolutely sensational on Friday night. James Tedesco was world class.
Otherworldly. What about though?
I don't know if I agree that James Tedesco is going to be the fullback for the Kangaroos because I think Mal Meninga has spoken all year about it's a new era for the Kangaroos.
No,
it's a new era for the Kangaroos.
We're going to beat the Kiwis this time, are we?
Well, maybe.
Now?
I think that they're going to have to give Ponga and Edwards a shot though.
Oh, look, yeah, and then the talk is Edwards is going to get some surgery because I think he's the incumbent from the Blues. But I just look at Tedesco and think, okay, I expect Melbourne to win. But Tedesco being there is the reason why you can't say they're no chance.
Yep.
Cronulla, with the greatest respects to the best team that ever lived don't have a James Tedesco who can win a game against a quality team on his own back. You look at that and you think, God, if he goes off like he can, they're a shot. And then who knows in the grand final?
He's only got to play his 2 best games, and we've seen him play about 20 great games this year.
Yeah, he's in form.
he is the reason why I may tip an upset.
Yeah. What about Victor Radley too? Playing with a broken shoulder, scores a try, belts blokes, has a great game.
Yeah, and he came off after 30 minutes and went up and got the needle in the shoulder, and they said that he'd come back on if they needed to. He didn't go back on.
No, well, his job was done. What a performance. I just think that Roosters team is so good.
Yeah.
But they haven't beaten the top 2 teams. Obviously, you're going to tip the Storm. I'm going to tip the Storm. Spoiler alert. James Tedesco, though, if he has a worldly, who knows? And they almost got him last year.
Yep. Now, Dan, something I didn't see coming. And then you see who wrote it, and you're probably like, yep, he was bored.
That makes sense.
Or drunk. Or one of the two, bored and drunk. A story has come out that because of the relationship between Nathan Cleary and Mary Fowler,
who lives in England,
Nathan Cleary may be asking for a release from Penrith to go to the Super League. Now, if you believe that, I have a bridge in Sydney that I would like to sell you.
Oh, yes, I'll take three of them, please.
Yeah.
This is perhaps the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. It's obvious that, these two are getting pretty serious. The it couple and all that jazz. Mm-hmm. Mary Fowler plays for Man City in England, and she's a pretty damn good player.
Earns a lot of money.
Nathan Cleary is the best player in our game.
Earns a lot of money.
On track to be the best player our game's ever seen. Do you think he's going to throw that away and go play Super League? Because I guarantee you that Matt Moylan's on track to potentially win a Man of Steel. They're just going to give Nathan Cleary the next 10 and say, you know what, here's the premierships too. You know, we're just going to shut down. Congratulations, Nathan, on your 10 years of glory. No.
I could... If they're still together in like 3 years' time, where Nathan Cleary has literally completed rugby league.
Yeah. It could happen.
Absolutely.
Or she might come back and sign for the Wanderers. Who knows? Probably not. But...
ridiculous.
It's just, okay, I say some things to get some reactions, Terry.
I was going to say...
This felt like that.
Do you know why they posted that?
So idiots like us...
idiots like me and you will give it airtime.
But you know what? If he's going to get clicks from lazy, we might as well steal some too.
Yeah, we might as well steal it.
Both of them.
And we touched on the Sharks in the prelim against the Brisbane Broncos this weekend.
Yes.
The Roosters were also taking on the Newcastle Knights.
Yeah, what a crack.
This was a couple of people, including myself, the tip for the grand final this year.
Yeah.
And I think we would have got there had the Roosters been the minor premiers.
Yeah, and it looked like they were going to be, so
what you're going to get out of this game is either the best team, because I still think the Roosters are the best team in the competition. Yeah. The best team making the grand final, or the Knights having the chance for a repeat. That is the prelim of all prelims. Stop what you're doing when that game's on.
Except if you're at Newtown.
Correct. And watch it.
Yeah.
Or if you're at the Newtown game, have your phone on.
Yeah, have it on, especially in the second half. What a week to be a Shark fan. We're literally struggling to watch all our teams play.
Yeah.
Just had to get that in while we can.
Yeah, and let's just point that out. We are the only club that has all 4 paid contracted grades in a prelim.
Yes, it
2
is.
of them made a grand final.
We just got to keep talking about it because this will never happen again. Look, these are 2 great games. Brisbane are the form team of the competition. They finished top. They beat Cronulla a couple of weeks ago on the last play of the game. A game that Cronulla threw away. See, everyone's going to think, Cronulla can beat them. Okay,
it's going to be tough.
On paper perhaps.
Holly Wheeler suspended really hurts.
That hurts a lot. Then you got the Roosters, who are the best team in the history, the best club in the history of this competition. You got Newcastle that have won back-to-back and probably the best team in the competition. They've come good. They're fully fit now. The Roosters have got Jess Surgis and they got Aiken back. Now there is a chance Isabel Kelly might miss. Looks like she's dislocated her elbow, which is horrible. This game could decide the premiership, although Brisbane have beaten teams like this before. Cronulla have beaten Newcastle. This is a perfect 4. And I think, with the greatest respect to Parramatta, who had a late run, these 4 teams have been head and shoulders above the rest all season from the kickoff.
Now, at the beginning of the year, Titans are the premiers elect and finished, 7th?
Yep. Both teams that lost the grand final last year should have won. Both the Brisbane and the Titans should have won. Choked and finished way outside finals. Just shows you how you've got to take your chances come finals time. Look, no matter what happens from here, the grand final's going to be an absolute cracker, and I don't say that lightly.
Unless it's Cronulla versus the Roosters.
Oh, and then, let's hope. We need some revenge. We need to score a point. But yeah, look, you couldn't have scripted a better 4 prelims. And if you'd said these are going to prelims, I would have said, yeah, probably.
Thank you.
Terry.
Whoa, talk to me, Dan.
Football! Prelims! Let's tip.
Top Sport. Let's get on with it. The good people at Top Sport this year, of course, are going to match Dan and I's combined total. And then we will pop it out to the fans. It was a lot.
Did not tip overly great.
I mean, I did.
Yeah,
well, and you still got to take me out for lunch as well, thank you.
I can't wait.
Let's get into this. Friday night, down in Melbourne. This game has caused a lot of conjecture saying that the Roosters are hard done by with a 6-day turnaround. The Storm only have 13 days off. Something about an AFL grand final being played
I think it's a little bit more important. There's going to be 100,000 people at that rubbish.
Now, they could have moved the game to Sunday, but then, of course, you only get a week to prepare. No, so
it's just, it is what it is, and both teams need to shut up and play football. And I think Melbourne are going to play a lot of football. Yeah,
Melbourne are going to go into this game as really, really red-hot favourites. Again, Sam Walker. That Ian Smith was...
he played all right. He
made Cherry Evans look a little bit foolish.
He did, which was nice.
I think, you have to have a look at who the best player in the game that you're playing is, to have a look at how you can see how they're going to go. Now, Jerome Hughes has been sensational this year. Cam Munster's been a little bit indifferent. And the Melbourne pack, it's okay.
Yep.
The best player in the game right now is James Tedesco.
Yep.
The way that the Roosters forward pack stood up and laid a foundation for Luke Keary to play as well as he did, for Sandon Smith to play as well as he did, and for Connor Watson, who's electric out of dummy half.
He's so good.
And then you got James Tedesco.
You do. Joey Manu,
Joseph Swali, Daniel Tupou, the ghost of Daniel Tupou.
Yes.
He is like 3 tries from being a top 5 all time in the NRL. And he is a guy that you look at him and just go, wow, you are bang average.
Yeah, but bang average.
If you weren't 6'5",
oh, he's just tall.
Yeah,
but he's
not
really,
just tall.
Really tall.
He's really, really tall, and he's really, really good.
I think his tallness. I don't think we've even seen the best of Dom Young yet.
No, and that's the scary part of this. On that note,
they're a red hot.
Yeah, on that note, because of the James Tedesco factor, I'm picking the Storm.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm picking the Roosters.
Yeah, look,
I'm going to pick the Roosters.
I'm picking Melbourne. They're fresh. They did away with Cronulla. The Roosters' recent against Melbourne has been despicable.
Let me say something controversial here about the Roosters and the game that they played on the weekend. They are also fresh.
Yeah, look, okay, jeez, that's harsh.
What a prick.
Both Manly fans are going to be very annoyed about that. But look,
sorry, Dad.
I want to build this up. I just feel like Melbourne are way too... I feel like the top 2 teams are so far ahead. And I think they're going to win both games. But if you said to me the Roosters are going to upset them, if there's going to be an upset this week, it's probably the Chooks.
I think the Roosters have thrown that first half from Penrith in the bin and just said, yeah, look, we just won't worry about that. And if you have a look, the forward pass call, correct forward pass call, but we've seen those passes let go. Right, that takes the 24-16 and makes it a game, and they had all the momentum in that, and they've taken that momentum in, and they've absolutely trolleyed Manly, who a lot of people thought were going to do them. Right, I think they're going to take that down to Melbourne, and they're just going to give it everything that they have. Like Jared Waerea-Hargreaves doesn't want to leave the NRL without playing in a grand final, and I think he's going to get them there. And I think Tedesco's going to capitalise on the back of it. I'm going to pick the Roosters. I'm going to pick the Roosters by 10.
I'll go Melbourne by 4.
Saturday night.
The game of the round.
Accor Stadium. No, the game of the round's on Sunday when the flag play.
Yeah, true.
Accor Stadium, 7:50. The Sharks and the Panthers. Let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Why was this game not played at CommBank?
I don't know.
Do you think
they don't want to lock fans out? They're so desperate to not lock fans out. Yet the night before, you got Marvel Stadium that's 50, 60,000, and you got Amy that's like 1,500. They're just... It's random at this stage. I think Penrith have said, let's get some grand final, hit out, let's play at Accor, let's beat Cronulla and stay there for a week.
Yeah.
CommBank would have been tremendous. I think they sell CommBank out. If you're worried about getting tickets for Saturday night,
you won't have to worry about it.
You can walk up on the day. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, there's 85,000 seats, and I think the early indication from a couple of surveys that went out, if you remember, you would have got it. That was a jab.
Yeah.
That said there would be about 50,000 pre-sale tickets.
Yep.
Go when the code comes out, right? Or it's going to 50,000 people.
Yep.
So, I think you're going to get a good crowd.
It'll be a fine crowd.
I think you'll get a good crowd. I think right now this was the time in 2016 when the bandwagoners came out.
Yeah.
And this is at the same time in 2018 when we went down to Melbourne. We had a charter plane that went down there. And you've got to remember 2015, we took a charter plane up to North Queensland and got our asses handed to us. Yeah. We don't have to charter a flight this time. We can charter a bus.
Maybe.
Look, for us as Cronulla to win this game, it's got to be perfect. If our completion rate drops below 85%, we've lost the game.
Toast. We said going in against Penrith last time, off a huge win streak, and Penrith were a bit iffy without Cleary, we have to start well.
Yep.
We dropped the ball and we conceded within a couple of minutes, and they scored again. It was game over. It was never even close. If that happens this weekend, it could be frightening. Because if Penrith get any sort of roll on, Cronulla must lead this game at the 20-minute mark. I dare say they must lead at halftime to be any crap.
I'm not going to go that dramatic. What I am going to say, though, is there is one advantage and one advantage only that I see Cronulla having in this game, and that is Ronaldo Mulatalo on Brian Toto. Now, a lot of people are going to look at this and go, Terry, you're crazy. Brian Toto is the best winger in the world. Yes, he is. He's really short, though.
Yeah.
Bomb often to Ronaldo. 50 metres out, 40 metres out, 10 metres out. Bomb to Ronaldo and let him try and bat the ball back. We saw it in Melbourne. Yeah. We saw Melbourne kick the ball, not to Ronaldo, but to Eli Katoa. Yeah. That side of the field, you got Ronaldo, a specialist under the high ball. Kaoliro, a specialist under the high ball. Teague Wilton, tallest back rower on the field. Yeah. Just kick to that side, please, Cronulla.
Yeah. Watch him
don't
kick
be stupid.
To Katoa all night.
Oh, yeah, they'll kick to Taruva, who's got a vertical leap bigger than me. Like, don't do it. Like, Fitz, if you're watching this, take Trindle aside, take Niko aside and say, look, it doesn't matter where the play of the ball is. The 6'3" winger on the 5'5" winger, that's where we're going to kick. The 6'3" back rower on this 5'10" back rower, that's where we're going to kick. Liam Martin he's a tremendous footballer. He can't jump though.
No, he can't jump.
Just kick that side of the field.
That big block head keeps him grounded. He won't be falling over.
Yeah.
Even if the earth switches on its axis, he ain't going nowhere.
I've given the game plan to beat them. Yeah. We won't do it though. Penrith are going to win.
Penrith are going to win. I think they win quite comfortably. They're well rested. They're far superior. They want to go out because their side is getting torn apart. Let's be honest. This is the big one. Although we said that last year.
Yep.
Cronulla we played our grand final. We won our grand final. So yay. Next year's the year for us. Mm-hmm. We needed a win. In saying that, a couple of weeks ago, I said, I don't care if Penrith beat us 60-0. I'll sell my soul to get past the Cowboys. If we get beaten 40-0 again, that will be demoralising. Mm-hmm. It has to. If you offered me 20-10, take it. It's all about setting up for next year. But come Saturday night at 7:40 at kickoff, I'm going to want to win this game and I'm going to believe we can win this game. Yeah. I just think Penrith are just too good.
26-10 with a great showing, knowing that we're bringing in one of the three best forwards in the game to the club. I'll take it.
Watch us still get annoyed if we lose 13-12.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because we would have been up 12-0 and they'll score 13 points in 5 minutes. Bastards. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by the good people at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe everywhere you can.
If you are still watching, please subscribe.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, just
Terry beats me when you don't subscribe.
Yeah, so the two things can happen. You can subscribe or I can bash Dan.
Please subscribe.